Hello everyone, I'm Tim Johnson, and with me again today are two Olympic wrestlers as my fellow commentators. First, the miracle on the mat himself, Rowlands Gardner.
You know what, Tim? Today is now going to become more exciting for me because they're over 200 pounds. So when you have 400 pounds out on the mat, something's going to be thrown, something's going to be pushed around, and something's going to happen. I look forward to the action today being amazing because you're going to see individuals be thrown, and that makes wrestling that much more exciting.
Well, throwing him in 1988, he won the Olympic bronze medal, Nate Carr.
Tim, I'm excited to be here, and I think these wrestlers are motivated first by the win, and the more they win, the more money they get, and I'm telling you what, they're putting it on the line in the toughest sport in the world.
Well, let's see how they did last week. And intensity is what we saw last week as the #1 seed, Lee Fullhart, got knocked off by Mo Lawal. And Greco-Roman wrestler Brad Varing showed the complete wrestler he is by making it to the finals also. This should make for a great finals matchup. We have lots of points being scored as the new rules of Real Pro Wrestling have opened things up. Stalling is out, action is in. Wrestling has never looked better. This week we're moving up to 211 pounds. Let's take a look at these competitors.
The #1 seed from the Oklahoma Slam is Daniel Cormier. He took 4th in the 2004 Olympics, just missing a medal. In 2003, he was 5th in the World Championships. Daniel is definitely the man, the one to beat at 211. He will face Nick Preston of the Pennsylvania Hammer, a 2-time NCAA All-American at Ohio State. Preston was 4th in the 2004 Nationals. He's got all he can handle and more when he goes up against Cormier. Coming in at the #4 seed is Damion Hahn of the Minnesota Freeze. Hahn is a 2-time NCAA champion, and he took 3rd in the 2004 Nationals. Another fine product of the University of Minnesota, Hahn is as tough as they come. His competitor will be Chad Lamer of the Iowa Stalkers. A 4-time All-American for the Iowa Hawkeyes, Lamer was on the national team in 2001 and 2002. Chad was also a 2002 World Cup silver medalist. On the bottom of the bracket, we have another Greco-Roman star, Garrett Lowney of the California Claw. Lowney was a 2004 Olympian and 2000 Olympic bronze medalist. He's also a 3-time U.S. Nationals champion. He will face off against RPW Showcase veteran Ryan Tobin of the Texas Shooters. A 1997 Pan Am champion and 3-time NCAA All-American, Tobin was a Cornhusker from the University of Nebraska. Next, we have Tommy Rowlands of the New York Outrage. A graduate of Ohio State, Rowlands is a 2-time NCAA champion, 2002 World Team Trials runner-up, and 4th place finisher in the 2004 U.S. Olympic Trials. He will face Daweed Rashul of the Chicago Groove. Another Harvard graduate, Rashul was a 2002 NCAA All-American, and he placed 3rd in the 2004 Dave Schultz Memorial International Tournament. Rashul completes the 211-pound bracket.
There you have it, the 211-pound, 96-kilogram weight class. Rowlands, Nate, any predictions?
Well, you know what? Cormier is strong, Lowney is strong, Tommy Rowlands is strong. Here's 3 great wrestlers right there, but I have to go with Cormier and I have to go with Garrett Lowney. If Garrett Lowney can get past Rowlands, I think he'll be in the finals with Cormier. You know, Garrett Lowney is a bronze medalist in 2000 Olympic Games, and then both of them were Olympians at the 2004 Olympic Athens Games. It's going to be a great tournament.
Well, that's great, Rowlands. Rowland is a favorite here, and you don't want to forget Damion Hahn, the 4th seed. It's going to be some great matches at this weight class.
Well, after these messages, we'll come back for highlights from the quarterfinal round here at Real Pro Wrestling, the new league of superheroes.
After this break, quarterfinal action gets underway featuring the top seed, the Slam's 2004 Olympian, Daniel Cormier, next on Real Pro Wrestling. The goal of every wrestler is to pin his opponent and win the match. But here are other points wrestlers can score. 1 point for a push-out or an escape. 2 points for a basic takedown, a turn, or a reversal. Throws are worth 4 points, and a big throw is 6. The RPW power meter keeps track of how much the wrestlers control the center of the mat. When a wrestler's power meter expires, his opponent gets a bonus and 20 seconds to throw it. Only the offensive wrestler can score, and only with a throw.
It's time for Real Pro Wrestling!
Our first match featured the #1 seed Daniel Cormier, the 2004 Olympian representing the Oklahoma Slam, being challenged by the Hammer's Nick Preston, a two-time All-American at Ohio State. Cormier wasted no time showing why he was the favorite in the bracket. With a double overhook lock on Preston, he executed a trip, then a high throw for 6 huge points. That worked so well that Cormier went back to the overhook to throw Preston again for a 10-0 lead. Nick tried to rally, but he stepped out to give Cormier another point. Preston then got called for being too passive, putting Daniel in the bonus. As an experienced Olympian, Cormier could have put the match away with a high throw, but Preston pancaked to the mat and ran out the time. It was all Cormier 11-0 at the end of the first period. When action resumed, Cormier continued to control the tempo, and when he almost had a throw at the edge of the mat, Daniel pulled up so he wouldn't injure Preston and settled for the push-out. Cormier then got behind Preston for a takedown, but Nick surprised him on a reversal for 2 points. And then he turned him for another 2. With a leg turn, Preston tried to go for the fall. Could he pull off the miracle comeback? With sheer strength, Cormier evaded the pin and held off the upset. When the wrestlers returned to neutral, the scrambling became a frenzy. And Preston won another point as they both spun out of bounds. But Cormier had the final advantage when Nick attacked low on a double and Daniel spun around quickly for a final takedown. Cormier had won the match. The #1 seed escapes the fall and wins 16-5 over Nick Preston, picking up 11 points for the slam.
First time I've wrestled live since the Olympics, so felt good to get a W. I mean, no matter which way it comes, I was up 14-0, gave up that reversal, and put him right into a turn. That's the only reason he scored any points, but it's all right, you know, just gotta keep getting better.
Up next was the Stalkers' Chad Lamer, a 4-time All-American and 2002 World Cup silver medalist, taking on the Freeze's Damion Hahn, a 2-time NCAA champion at Minnesota. This was another 4 versus 5 seed matchup, which was expected to be close. Hahn initiated the action with a low double leg, and Lamer tried to counter with a switch. But Damion muscled behind him for the takedown in the first 2 points. When Hahn's leg buckled, Lamer quickly took advantage to even the score at 2-2. And after the takedown, Chad got Hahn in an ankle ace. With his own determination and brute force, Lamer stayed with the move until he finally turned Damion to take the lead 4-2. Then it was Hahn's turn to rally. From the front headlock position, he used his hips to turn Lamer to even the score. That move worked so well, he went right back to it and turned Lamer again to take the lead 6-4. Hahn stayed with the front headlock, but this time, Chad had it figured out. And he countered and scored a takedown as he pushed Damion out of bounds and off the mat. The action returned to neutral, but time ran out on the first period. The match was all tied up at 6-6. The second period began with Hahn staying on the attack, going low on the single leg, and Lamer countering by fixing and outmaneuvering him. The scrambling was intense, with Lamer eventually spinning behind Hahn for a takedown. Hahn attacked again, scoring a quick push-out, before Lamer countered with a snap-down and another takedown. Down 10-7, Hahn tried to rally again, but his leg collapsed on the attack, and Lamer got behind him for 2 more points. Damion's knee was injured, and Lamer picked up another easy 2 at the end of the match. Chad Lamer wins in an upset, pulling away late for a 14-7 win and 7 more points for the Stalkers.
Yeah, he's tough, he's sneaky, he's got some good stuff.
Cormier and Lamer advanced to clash in the semifinals. Their match is next on Real Pro Wrestling.
Welcome back to to Real Pro Wrestling. Guys, we saw some big scoring in the quarterfinal matches. Now we're ready for the semifinal round in the upper half of the bracket.
Tim, our first semifinal match is between the Oklahoma Slams, Daniel Cormier, and Chad Lamer from the Iowa Stalkers. And the Slams could really use some points from Daniel.
You know what? Lamer wrestled a great match, and I don't want to take anything away from Hahn, but we just got word that Hahn injured himself. We're going to go back and get further results on this, figure out what happened. We first thought it was his ankle, but eventually Tim was right. It was his knee.
Well, that's tough for Hahn, but we just have to move on, guys, and we want to take a close-up look at our 2 semifinalists on Real Pro Wrestling.
Daniel Cormier, 96 kilos. I started wrestling when I was 11 years old. I fell in love with it immediately. Once I started doing it, I knew that's what I wanted to do, was wrestle.
Let's go. Hey, wrestle hard.
My kids' wrestling program is called the Cowboy Wrestling Club. The main focus of the club is just to teach the kids the basics of wrestling.
Hold them there.
Let them have fun with other kids around their age, learning to wrestle and having fun at the same time. If I was a pharmacist and I had to prescribe something for a kid to be the best or to be successful, I'd give you a big dose of hard work. As long as you're willing to work hard, focus on your goals, and you're gonna be okay. I'm gonna do another thing that's real important to me, another type of training I do to get my mind right. Texas versus LSU, NCAA football 2005.
Oh, he dropped the football.
What I do when I'm not wrestling is I play a lot of video games.
Some trash, T.
You know, when you're in Russia for 10 days, you know, you need something to pass the time. I don't know why I continue to lose to this guy. He is not that good a player.
My dad got me started wrestling when I was about 4 or 5 probably. I had success pretty early. I won some tournaments when I was in kindergarten, so I started out winning. I have a wife and 4 little boys, so they take up all of my time.
Muscle Sean.
You know, we're at one of the many little kid wrestling tournaments they have in this area. Got my oldest 2 boys, Justice and Brawley, wrestling in a tournament here in Davenport, Assumption. Every match, I hope they get tougher every time they step on the mat. You're next, Justice. I probably get more nervous for their matches than I do my own.
You gotta be ready.
Gotta start them young around here, otherwise they're gonna take too many knots on the head if they start when they're older. I'm really proud of them. Hopefully they'll be little stalkers someday. Way to go, buddy. Way to wrestle hard. We're proud of you.
Now that we've met our 2 wrestlers, let's start the match. Let's go to our announcer, Rick Baird.
Ladies and gentlemen, here comes our first match in this weight group at 211 pounds. From the Oklahoma Slam, Daniel Cormier. His opponent from the Iowa Stalkers, please welcome Chad Lamer.
Buckle your seatbelts. We're back for more Real Pro Wrestling, where the stakes are big, cash and prizes, and the prestige of being Real Pro Wrestling's national champion. That's what's on the line as we get ready to witness Olympian Daniel Cormier's quest for a Real Pro Wrestling championship at 211 pounds. But Chad Lamer, a man he's never beaten, representing the Iowa Stalkers, stands in his way.
Chad Lamer had a great match earlier today. Came out, won against Damion Hahn. He's a great athlete, has a great single leg, great high crotch. He's in position, but I don't know if he has enough to beat Daniel Cormier.
There's Daniel doing what he does best. Go behind people. I think he's going to take him out. I think he's going to defeat his tough nemesis here today. He's an Olympic team member. He was 4th in the Olympics. He was 2nd, 5th in the World Championships in 2003. He's the real deal. Look at that right now. He's never beat this guy, but he's got a reversal. But he's out in front.
4-2, 4-2.
Great technique. You know, Daniel Cormier got a little bit aggressive there. Took a chance. You know, in wrestling, you have to take a chance sometimes to win, but sometimes you have to be smart about your decision process. Daniel has an opportunity for a gut wrench. He's stepping in, popping through with his hips. And what happens is Daniel doesn't pop all the way through and finish it, you know, and then Chad's able to come back around, reverse it for 2-2.
That's right, Rowlands. They're tying up. You have to watch Daniel because he can really throw. He can really throw. So
as we saw yesterday in the match, he's got a great double overhook. He'll throw from any position. He doesn't scare. He's not a person that's afraid of going out and committing 100% to one move, going for it. Sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes you're benefited with big victories.
There's no doubt about that, Rowlands.
Lamer isn't just 1-0, he's 2-0 on Cormier. They've met twice. Lamer's the victor both times. A minute 30 left, but right now Lamer's behind 4-2.
Look at that! Daniel's going around. He's scoring again. Whoa! There it is. Great job. Great job by Daniel Cormier. Boy, he's really attacking out there.
6-2 ahead, minute and a half left. Daniel Cormier's got a great advantage.
Look at this turn he's trying to get on him.
His arsenal is so complete. That was a front headlock there, trying to hook the leg to pull him over. Amazing.
What happened there is Daniel got him off balance and he sprawled and he just went around him. He was trying to cradle him here. Then he just had to settle for the score and to go behind there.
I think that's, one of the things that Chad's, really patient here, but he's got to find an opportunity to get Daniel out of position, because right now I know that Daniel's looking for one big throw. He wants to make the excitement. He's excited to be here at Real Pro Wrestling tonight. Chad's got to go out there, one move in one situation at a time.
Look at that shot by Cormier. Nice adjustment. Lamer tried to create some offense there.
Daniel Cormier goes out in front 8-2, 45 seconds left in the first period. Dominant performance so far by Daniel Cormier, who represents the Oklahoma Slam.
I tell you what, Rowlands, I don't think he just really wants to make it exciting. I think he wants to beat the guy he's never beaten before.
Do you see any type of weakness in Daniel right now? I don't see any type of weakness. He is a complete wrestler.
I agree. He's wrestling good.
To look to come back in the middle, what does Chad need to do to get back in this match? First and foremost, he has to control the center. The problem is Daniel has great lateral movement. He can get around, even in a good situation like right there. It's a scramble.
Look at that, scrambling there. Whoa, look at Cormier in on that single leg. He needs to get his head up. He needs to try it. Nice move by Lamer. Great wrestling there. Both of these gentlemen want to win this match, but it's a great one.
When you score under 15 seconds at the end of the period, that's when you win matches. I mean, scoring on the edge, scoring at the end of the period, right?
There he is. There's a big advantage from being down 8-2, from being down 8-4. Right now he only has 4 points to catch up on. Daniel, I think, is a little bit winded. Daniel's a little bit exhausted right now. Chad's coming into the corner looking fresh.
Well, let's take a break and come back for this exciting finish in just a moment. We're back for Real Pro Wrestling, second period at 211 pounds. You're looking at Chad Lamer with his coach, Mike Durow. Here's Lamer's latest score.
He really put the hips down on him and just a lot of power. The power is in the hips. It's the strongest part of the body. And he really got Cormier out of position there.
And you're looking at a great upper body, but it's not in the upper body, is it, guys? It's in the hips, man.
It's a controlling the torso. Right now, I saw, in the position, Daniel comes out there. That last takedown, Chad had the position. Daniel Cormier was working for the takedown. Chad simply rotated, pushed him back, got him to go back over his shoulder, and instead of, bailing out for 4 points to his back, Daniel decided to give him up 2 points. Now he's only ahead 8-4. I think both wrestlers are starting to fatigue a little bit. I think conditioning is going to be a big part of this match.
Shot by Lamer, but he's stopped by Cormier.
I tell you what, I can really see Lamer Chad really wants to win this match. I mean, both guys are going at it. But I tell you what, Cormier can respond, he can react. He has great athleticism. He knows how to use his body. He reminds me actually of Melvin Douglas, national champion from Oklahoma.
Oh, great wrestler, Melvin Douglas. He's explosive. He waits. He chooses his weakness of his opponents. And when he sees that weakness, he just jumps on it. He attacks it. He finds the points wherever he can. Right now, that's what Daniel Cormier is doing. Chad needs to figure out a way to come back in this match.
Well, there's only 2 minutes left in this match right now. Cormier still out in front, 8-4.
Yeah, both guys were locked up there, but hey, come on, keep wrestling, Chad. Let the official make that call.
And what that is right there, Daniel, Daniel kind of came to his face, made an impact on his face, and that kind of frustrates you as a wrestler. There again, they come back at it, right back to the face.
Oh, it looks like Chad kind of talked him, the official into a caution there.
You know what? He probably deserves it. Because these guys, they get down in points. Sometimes to get the guy off you, to stop him attacking you, you get in his face and you hit him hard, and that's what Chad was complaining. But right now, Daniel's back in the attack. He wants this match. He's coming back in with the intensity, with the drive.
Rulon, the U.S. coaches have named Cormier Baby Melvin Douglas. He wrestles just like him. That looked like Melvin Douglas there. Good counters and then just a great reach shot, and he's back on top. There's no way that Chad's going to get him today.
Well, that was another 2 points for Melvin Jr. there. A minute 10 left in the whole shooting match here.
Did you see what Daniel did here? Pressure, down on the face, comes out for the single leg. Okay, gets him down. Now look what he does. He comes back on top and starts driving the face with his arm because he wants to show that I'm the man in this match and I will control and I will beat you. That's what wrestling's about.
You're listening to Rulon Gardner. I'm Tim Johnson along with Nate Carr. We're bringing you Real Pro Wrestling's 211-pound semifinal match between Daniel Cormier, Olympian in 2004, representing the Oklahoma Slam, and Chad Lamer from the Iowa Stalkers.
There's Daniel Cormier. Look at this. That's an illegal headlock. You have to have an arm. Now look at that. Now he's just trying to hurt him here. That's unsportsmanlike. That is not right. And you know what? If that happened to me, I would come out and I would cheap shot my opponent back. And that's not right of a good athlete to do that at this level.
Look like a good tough cross face to me, Rulon.
I guess you're back in the old style where you guys were cheap like that. You know what? When I wrestled, I did it with class. I didn't take cheap shots. You know what? Maybe you've been working out too much with these young guns.
Unless somebody cheap shotted you. You just said you did cheap shot him if they cheap shotted you.
You did say that, Rulon.
I come back and I just drive them out of bounds and I show them that I'm going to outbeat them with my conditioning, with my drive, with my intensity. Nobody is going to outwork me in a match.
I really think in that statement that Cormier was saying, "You'll never beat me again."
I think we've heard that before. And there's Lamer in on the ankle, trying to cut off and drive. But, look at that power.
That's for power. That's Cormier. That's why he's one of the tough young guys today. I'm telling you, look just like, again, Melvin Douglas.
12-4, Cormier out in front with only 15 seconds left in the match. And he is on his way to the finals. The Real Pro Wrestling Finals. It's going to be a 2-hour special. 7 weight classes, 14 of the greatest, best wrestlers in the nation going for Real Pro Wrestling's national championship.
And most people have never wrestled. You don't understand the physical exhaustion you go through in one wrestling match. And right now, I know both these athletes have given it their all.
Look at that. Look at Cormier. He's just saying, listen, buddy, you beat me a long time ago, and it doesn't count now.
Well, and Oklahoma Slam gets 10 points. Those are important points for the team. Oklahoma Slam, 10 points. Daniel Cormier gets them. You're looking at Daniel Cormier, Olympian, and now finalist for Real Pro Wrestling's National Championship. You won't want to miss next week when we follow another of America's Real Pro wrestlers.
Cormier dominates again to advance to the championship. Daniel is standing by with one of our reporters.
Yeah, it was good. It was my first win over him, so it felt good. But I just wrestled, wrestled hard, and was able to score some points.
A great match at 211 pounds as Cormier, the #1 seed, dominated and advanced to the championship round, and his 10 points for the slam was huge.
That's right, Tim. Iowa's lead is cut down, and Lamer's out, and Cormier advances to the finals. Iowa's lead may disappear if the Oklahoma Slam can pick up some big points.
And next week, it's the big boys, the heavyweights. This can be a great battle between the Slam and the Stalkers. Rivalries just like in college. Now they're going to Real Pro Wrestling.
Rulon, you're right. I think that college rivalries have found another home here on Real Pro Wrestling, and we'll be back for more Real Pro Wrestling action after this.
Quarterfinal action resumes on the bottom bracket with the #2 seed Tommy Rowlands, a 2-time NCAA champion. Next on Real Pro Wrestling.
The bottom half of the bracket begins with the quarterfinals, featuring Garrett Lowney of the Claw and the Shooters Ryan Tobin. And then #2 seeded Tommy Rowlands of the Outrage takes on Dawid Rashul of the Groove.
On the bottom bracket was the 3 seed, year 2000 Olympic bronze medalist Garrett Lowney of the Claw, taking on the Texas Shooters Ryan Tobin, a 3-time All-American in Nebraska. Coming back from a neck injury, Lowney wasted no time confirming his full recovery. Spinning behind Tobin for 2, Garrett then used his strength to gut wrench Ryan for a turn. And that worked so well, he stayed with it until he turned him again for a quick 6-0 lead. The lead ballooned to 8-0 with another takedown. When Tobin tried to attack, Lowney was quick to counter to get behind Ryan again. And then he just manhandled Tobin to turn him for a 12-0 lead. Tobin tried to go low again, but Lowney fixed him and outmaneuvered him, spinning behind for 2 more. The first period was over, and Garrett was only 1 point away from a tech fall with a 14-0 lead. The second period was more of the same, with Tobin shooting in and Lowney stopping him cold, and then seemingly at will, spinning behind Ryan for one more final takedown. Garrett Lowney notches the tech fall over Ryan Tobin and wins 15 incredible points for the California Claw. Congratulations, Garrett, on an awesome Real Pro Wrestling performance.
They all know me as a Greco guy, but you know, I'm a 2-time All-American in college.
I know that.
He came in shooting on me, and I don't know if he thought I was going to be easy to shoot on, but I made him pay, and you know, the match ended early.
Our final match featured the number 2 seed Tommy Rowlands, a 2-time NCAA champion wrestling for the Outrage. Being challenged by the Chicago Grooves, Dawid Rashul, who was an All-American at Harvard. Rashul came out the aggressor, taking Rowlands by surprise and out of bounds as Dawid scored the push-out. Rowlands fought back and thought he had a takedown, but upon review, the referee ruled Dawid was out of bounds first. Rashul caught a break. Tommy then tripped Dawid forward, getting behind for a takedown to take the lead 3-1. Next, Rashul's power meter dropped to the point that it put Rowlands in the bonus. Tommy tried the reverse lift and then the front headlock, but Rashul defended well to end the bonus. The match was a virtual stalemate, and the first period ended with Rowlands clinging to a 3-1 lead. Rowlands came out charged up, attacking the single leg and finishing with a double for a takedown. Rashul rallied with a single leg attack, and when he looked like he was stopped by Rowlands, he dug in and drove Tommy backwards for the push-out. Then Rowlands countered, attacking the single leg and reversing into a double, scoring a takedown. Rowlands had the momentum and another quick takedown to lead 9-2. Tommy tried to gut-wrench Dawid to finish him off, but he let him get up for an escape as time ran out on the match. The number 2 seed survives a stiff challenge to win the match 9-3 and pick up 16 points for the New York Outrage. Tommy Rowlands advances to face Garrett Lowney in the semifinals on Real Pro Wrestling.
Preston was a freshman in college, beat him 5-2 or 5-3, so I knew he'd give a tough match. He's always been a real strong guy and hard to score on, so I was ready for that aspect.
The second semifinal is set as a battle of the 2 and 3 seeds. When we return, we'll get up close with Garrett Lowney and Tommy Rowlands, and the action continues on Real Pro Wrestling.
Welcome back to Real Pro Wrestling. We're down to the final match at 211 pounds, and we've got the number 2 versus the number 3 seed battling.
That's right, Tim. Our second semifinal match is between Gary Lowney's of the Claws and Tommy Rowlands of the Outrage. And Rulon, your Greco teammate, is looking tough.
And you know what? Garrett Lowney has nothing to prove. After making the 2000 Olympic team, winning a bronze medal in 2000, he came back and came through a severe neck injury, made the 2004 team. There's nothing to prove, but all he wants to do is put some big points up for the California Claw.
But once again, before the match, let's meet our wrestlers at home on Real Pro Wrestling.
Welcome to Freedom, Wisconsin. This is my town. My name's Garrett Lowney, and weight class of 96 kilograms. Wrestling is the way I get my aggression out. I kind of live by the golden rule. I treat people the way I want to be treated. I like to be headbutted. I like to get beat up on. I like the battle of wrestling. At World Team Trials last year, I threw my opponent and landed wrong, and I was actually paralyzed for about 15 seconds. very scary situation. I actually finished the match and went back and wrestled another match and won my spot on the world team. And then I went to the doctor and they couldn't believe that I kept wrestling because they said I could have took one wrong blow and been paralyzed from the neck down. After the surgery, after my rehab, everything just went the way it was supposed to. They cleared me and I came back. I've been doing it since I was 5 years old. I just don't know any other life.
I'm Tommy Rowlands. I'm wrestling 96 kilograms. I was 6 years old when I started wrestling, and my dad was a wrestling coach. The things that you do physically to get to the top of your game, it's incredible. I'm willing to argue that that doesn't happen in any other sport. You wrestle an opponent, you wrestle a body out there, but really you're struggling against yourself, trying to find out what you can do. It's really not the time that we put in, it's what we put in the time that makes our sport different from all the others. It's amazing. We're always running, we're always lifting, we're conditioning really hard. I can't blow you away with words. It's just something that you have to go through to truly understand. Hopefully the people out there take our words for it. This is one of the hardest sports around. In wrestling, my coach at Ohio State always says that you bear your soul, putting everything you have into something and what you really believe in. Obviously, the number one objective when you're out there is to win. My second priority is to be exciting. I want to have fun out there. I want the people that are watching me to have fun. That's kind of the philosophy I have on wrestling.
It's a tough workout. That's what it takes, though.
Now that we've met our two gladiators, let's see them put it on the line.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's time to wrestle. From the New York Outrage at 211 pounds, Tom Rowlands. His opponent from the California Claw, say hello to Garrett Lowney.
It's Real Pro Wrestling. I'm Tim Johnson, along with Olympians Rowland Gardner and Nate Carr. We welcome you back to one of the best semifinal matchups in Real Pro Wrestling Season 1. Old college rivals at heavyweight, number 2 seed, two-time NCAA champion Tommy Rowlands versus number 3 seed, two-time Olympian Garrett Lowney.
Wow, Garrett Lowney, what a great athlete. Two-time Olympian, first Olympics. Before he even started his freshman year of college, he was a bronze medalist in the 2000 team. He has a great high crotch, great remove. Tommy Rowlands is going to be tough, but I think Garrett Lowney is going to use his Greco experience and his knowledge of throwing to beat Tommy Rowlands today.
Tom Rowlands is a great athlete. He's a high school, college All-American from Ohio State, national champion. And I tell you what, for a big guy, can he move? Nice low singles, nice changing of levels. This is going to be a great match, and you're going to see some good wrestling in this one.
Well, I mean, just look at the moves right here. And like I said, they're old college rivals. We're at 211 here, but it was heavyweight in the college.
Look at Rowland just scored there.
Right there, Garrett Lowney went for the front headlock. He was going to show his dominance early. Didn't wait to set it up correctly, 100%. Tried to go early, didn't happen. Tommy Rowlands got on top of him for 2-point takedown.
There's no way he's going to turn somebody like that.
Turn face.
Garrett.
Now, Garrett Lowney, great technique, you know, in the top and bottom position, parterre position is what we call it. Now they're back up to the feet. Here, this advantage should be Tommy Rowlands. Right now, Tommy should have advantage because he has been training lately in freestyle wrestling or collegiate wrestling. Right now, Garrett Lowney's trying to find opportunities, and I think Garrett Lowney is going to control the pummeling. What Tommy needs to do is go back down to the lower levels, and I think that's his chance to win.
That's one thing he's been able to do throughout his career. Tommy Rowlands has been able to do the low single. He has the whole package, doesn't
he? He does, you know, and I think you know, he has to continue that right now because Garrett Lowney will wrestle him a different, you know, mentality here, because if they have to go to the bonus, and I know Garrett Lowney's working the middle position, I know Garrett can throw Tom in the clinch position when they go Greco. I think that's what one of, you know, looking at it, Garrett Lowney's positions is working the clinch, taking the clinch position where he can throw Tom to his back.
Rulon, I don't think he's going to throw him at all. Nobody's been throwing from the clinch.
Welcome to Greco, baby.
We'll see. And I think Tommy Rowlands really needs to get on those legs. He needs to take a low single shot, catch him. There he is. He's going for another leg attack. He's control. Oh, nice. That's what I'm talking about.
Whoa.
Did you see him disappear? I think Garrett forgot he had legs there.
Right now, great takedown by Tom. Garrett Lowney's just waiting him out, getting his chance. Right now, I think Garrett needs to pick up the pace, needs to have the intensity. Made one mistake by going early and then made one more mistake by getting taken down 4-0, 32 seconds left in the first period.
Watch this. Nice setup. He taps the head and disappears and hits a nice outside single leg. That's one of his favorite things to do.
That makes the score 4-0 in favor of Rowlands with less than 30 seconds left in the first period.
Garrett Lowney's just kind of waiting, figuring him out, waiting for some situations to where he can attack him or hopefully arm throw him or body lock him. That's one of his goals, you can tell by setting it up like this.
Yeah, I think what Rowland needs to do is fake a little bit more, get him off balance so that Garrett doesn't get the tie-up.
Okay, Garrett, you're down.
We've got the Greco time, Rowland.
Right now they're going into parterre position. They're going to go down. Parterre means top-bottom position. Garrett Lowney goes down. This means Tom has an opportunity to either reverse the lift him or straight lift him. Tom's going to try to reverse body lift him. Garrett Lowney, this is his profession. If he gets reverse lifted here, the Greco guys will never let him live this down right now.
That's not happening. There's no way that's going to happen.
Now, you know what? Garrett Lowney's going to come back up. Going into the second period down 4-0. He has a chance to come back in this match.
That's the end of the first period. Rowlands ahead 4-0, and we'll be back after this. We're back for Real Pro Wrestling's 211-pound semifinal match between Tommy Rowlands and Garrett Lowney. Rowlands out in front 4-0. You're looking at Tommy Rowlands right there, the former national champion, two-time national champion from Ohio State, and Garrett Lowney, the two-time Olympian from Minnesota. And Lowney today representing the California Claw, and Tommy Rowlands on Team New York, the New York Outrage.
Look at that, look at that. Tommy Rowland is really moving. That's what he needs to do. Keep going, keep going. Look at that. He's in there. Take his time, take his time, take his time. He should lift. Come on, get on your knees. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Boy, great strip there. Boy, did Garrett really stop him there. Oh my goodness, drive him out.
Whoa, whoa.
You know what happened right there? Garrett Lowney choked him to the point where he said, I don't care how much this hurts, I'm letting go of this leg, he can score on me. Now he's only down 4-2. Great technique by Garrett Lowney, Greco wrestler.
I think you're right there, Rowland.
Let's go, gentlemen.
Here we go, Garrett Lowney coming around. What he has is a front headlock position here, and he's just choking, choking, choking. Finally to the point where Tom says, it's fine, you can take 2 points. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna get you in another position.
It's 4-2 in favor of Tommy Rowlands. 2 minutes left in the match.
Rowland, I didn't think you would like somebody choking somebody.
But the one thing about it is that's a fair choke. You're not actually going out there trying to hurt your individual. I would see, in Garrett Lowney's eyes, if he was out there trying to hurt somebody. Right there, he's just trying to come around because you looked at it. Tom went in, did the shot, got into position, and gave that lock to Garrett. Garrett finally capitalized off and went around for the score.
Well, it's a great match either way. I think that Tommy Rowlands really needs to go back to his fakes. I think he needs to get Garrett off balance. He needs to just fake almost like a boxer, just hitting those soft jabs. He really needs to get him off balance.
But both these guys are getting tired. You look at them, they're both breathing heavy. I don't know if Garrett has enough gas to come back in here. I hope he can come back. I hope he can stay in good position. If not, Tom's going right into the finals.
You're listening to Rowland Gardner and Nate Carr. I'm Tim Johnson. We have 1:15 left in the match between Tommy Rowlands, who's out front of Garrett Lowney, 4-2 at the 211-pound semifinal match for Real Pro Wrestling.
I think what Tommy Rowlands is doing, he's setting him up, and he's going to hit one of those disappearing low singles out of nowhere when he lulls Garrett to sleep.
But I think Garrett, has to take a chance here, but Tom knows he doesn't need to do anything because he's in advantage. If he takes a attempt here, he's going down.
Well, the bonus is in effect. The power meter went down on Lowney. The officials said you're being too passive, and Rowlands comes on top.
And what this does, Tom doesn't have to do anything. All he has to do is sit on top for 20 seconds. There's 20 seconds that Garrett will not have to attack him. That's kind of a mistake there on Garrett's part. He has to get back up on the feet where he can score some points and stop Tom from scoring in this position. I don't think Tom's going to do anything that'll cost him points.
I agree. He's just wasting time right here. He's on top trying to work that reverse gut wrench, which is not going to work on a two-time Greco-Olympian.
That's correct. You know, bronze medalist, but right now it doesn't matter your past history. You have to come out. He only has 35 seconds left. He needs one takedown to tie this up, taking it overtime. I don't know if he has enough gas in his tank to get him there.
There he is. He's going for that underhook. I think Rowland's going to probably try to take maybe one more shot, get on that low single leg. Well, there's 25 seconds left. Good hit, snap.
Oh, they're tired.
Good.
Push out.
That's the match right there.
That was an extra point that was necessary.
We're going to look at it and see if he throws in the little timeout. We're going to see. He thinks that Tom put his hand down first. The question is, who put their hand down out of bounds first?
And we'll find out right now as we take the same look that the officials will look at.
Got it. This is one of the things about a Greco wrestling and amazing about freestyle wrestling. You know, you take an opportunity to step out. Whose hand went out first? Tommy's hand went out first.
Tommy Rowlands' hands goes out. Now that makes it a different match, doesn't it, guys?
Oh, down by one.
Whoa.
If that's the call, he's down by one. You know, right now it's up on the board. It's opposite of what they see it, but we're going to have an overturn.
Instead of 5-2, it's 4-3. Right?
Exactly right. Down by one with 20 seconds left.
Steve Knight, longtime XL coach.
Oh, maybe this is a better angle. Here we go. There, Garrett. No, his hand was down. Ryan's hand, or Tommy's hand, was down on the mat. There we go. That should be 1 point for Garrett Lowney.
Under review, the call is reversed. One blue, push out.
All right, 20 seconds left. It's 4-3. This is a whole new match. Anything can happen. And the rest. Hey, what's
That's
the rest?
always the factor. Look at these guys going to have to go. Oh, spin around. He should spin around. Oh, he should hold him there. 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7,
Garrett needs to drive him out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
That's the match. He goes to Tommy
Rowlands.
What a great one there.
Tommy Rowlands representing the New York Outrage. We saw his coach, Steve Knight, a little earlier. He's excited, and Rowlands is the winner. He's in the finals against Daniel Cormier. He'll be part of the Real Pro Wrestling's National Championship. There you see Tommy Rowlands, the winner, 4-3. He's on to the finals. You won't want to miss those finals, and you won't want to miss next week when we follow another of America's Real Pro Wrestlers on his way to a national title.
We'll talk to our winner, Tommy Rowlands, and wrap it up when Real Pro Wrestling returns.
That was some incredible Real Pro Wrestling action. Daniel Cormier and Tommy Rowlands winning. Number 1 versus number 2, but they're really different wrestlers.
That's right, Tim. Cormier is big, he's confident, and he's ready. Now, Rowland, on the other hand, he just barely got by. It's going to be interesting in the finals.
You know what? Garrett Lowney put up a great battle against him, but he fell a little bit short. Tommy Rowlands is ready. This is going to be a great battle in the finals. Ooh.
One of our reporters is with Tommy Rowlands of the New York Outrage. Let's go to Rowlands with Tom.
You had that one last little flurry, and midway through the second period, I think that would have iced the deal on that high crotch. You really fought and fought and fought. I think it took you a little time to recover from that, but you didn't get it.
Yeah, it did. It was tough. I blew it out on that flurry, and Lowney has a really good front headlock. Gave me stitches in college, so I was a little intimidated by it. I shouldn't have been, and kind of gave up the takedown in fear of giving up more points than 2.
I thought you defended when he did get on top. He had a couple occasions where he was on top. You know, he's a Greco guy, Olympic bronze medalist, yet you defended extremely well.
Thanks, I appreciate that. I've been working on parterre offense and defense the whole time. I feel like that's my biggest weakness, and if I can fix that, hopefully I'll be in the World Championships trying to win a world title.
So once again in the finals at 211 pounds, we have Daniel Cormier of the Oklahoma Slam versus Tommy Rowlands of the New York Outrage. Number 1 versus number 2. No upsets here. Any predictions in the finals?
You know what? I have to go with Olympian Daniel Cormier. More experience, more knowledge.
Well, I agree with you, Rowland. We've had some great upsets here at Real Pro Wrestling, but I'm going with Cormier in the finals.
Well, the Outrage remained in second place, but the Slam made a big move into third on Cormier's wins.
And you know what? Also in this weight class, we have the Slam versus the Outrage. It's not only the individual points that determine the champions, it's also team points determine which ones to win the team championship.
That's right, Rowland. And also, there's extra money depending on how your team places in this tournament. And that's always a good motivator.
Well, the team race is getting tighter as we move on. And next week, we move ahead to the final weight class, 264 pounds, where 8 more wrestlers will compete to be finalists for a real pro wrestling championship. We'll see you then.
Coming next week, we move up to the 264-pound class as 8 more wrestlers battle for their very first real pro wrestling championship. The heavyweights are our final weight class before we go to the championship round. All-Americans, champions, and Olympians put it all on the line in a Clash of the Titans, as the world's oldest sport is now the newest professional league. Next week on Real Pro Wrestling.